With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they'll be led out by their quarterback in his 5th season now, the former number 2 overall pick, Carson Wentz.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdowns passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw. Almost able to intercept him. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback who played for the Nevada Wolfpack in college. It's Colin Kaepernick.
And I think it's safe to say that, and I heard him say it in the post-game press conference, that was a team win last week because he didn't really play up to his normal standards, throwing 2 interceptions.
No touchdown.
Yeah, didn't offset it at all, but the team found a way to get it done.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. So after the INT, it's Kaepernick. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Well, the 2nd down throw on target. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
To throw, it's Kaepernick. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Kaepernick to throw on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. Say what you want, but Kaepernick's still one of the best at doing that as the scramble gets him to first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Now they'll throw with Kaepernick. And he slings one that's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. The numbers for Sanders last week, 20 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Second and 12 now at the 44-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
What were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
back to Sanders on first down. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver and that. Can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 5 at the 27-yard line.
Throwing is Wentz. And quickly finding Reagor. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the red zone now, Wentz. And that's going to be caught for the Eagles touchdown. Travis Fulgham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are first out of the scoreboard.
Jake Elliott on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. What are you doing? I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. And this is incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run with Love. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He could see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
Yeah, the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. A gain of 6 there on first.
Complete to Nico Hardman. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
This is Love. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 29. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it's going to be 2nd down. On the give, this is their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. J.D. McKissick, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Kaepernick throwing on 2nd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. The quick slant caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Here's Love. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the 2nd half.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was all capped by Bryce Love's touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's 7 yards deep, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Offensive unit now is the partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
On first down, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, he timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. A final shot before half for Wentz. And he'll complete this one to Fulgham. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start in the NFC East, a classic matchup here. Dallas visiting the Meadowlands, and it's the Cowboys who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And at halftime, they trail the visiting Titans in that ball game. Ryan Tannehill with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Preston Williams, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will make it into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On second down, here's Kaepernick. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They were trying to go to Brown once again. That'll bring up second down. Again, they'll throw with Kaepernick. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game. So one first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on third down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver. And it results in an incomplete pass.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
Washington takes over 1st and 10.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking.
Now. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. The ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do. But just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
This ball complete to Rager. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
2nd and inches at the 12-yard line.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
1st down and goal to go.
They'll run with Sanders. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Once again with Sanders. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
Oh, this is what I love about calling these games. 4th and goal. This is all about leverage, who wants it more, and who's going to get it done at the point of attack, the line of scrimmage.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Kaepernick eluding the pressure right. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, he went on the move there and started rolling out. I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It was Jonathan Bostic there on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wentz, and he's going to keep it here. And all the way down to the 7-yard line.
I'm ready to take over, baby.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Working from the gun, Wentz. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Now Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you? Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Montez Sweat. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
At their own 24-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Escaping the pressure right. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Kaepernick to throw again. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. That's going to be caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jeremy Sprinkle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to make this a close game again. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed, they definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Throwing again on second down. Wentz, and he will find his man on the outside. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
The Sanders there with a first down carry that might have gotten a yard, if that. Second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Another run with Sanders. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
He was brought down by Fabian Moreau. That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Running to start the drive is Love. Good strength, but not able to get a whole lot. Tackled shy of the 10. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Here's Love again. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
They're going for it. It's Kaepernick. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And that disastrous play partner is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is because they gave up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's happened to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 30, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. So there, Charles. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch. And I want to thank you for bringing 2 things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out like the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch